Cool. All right. Thanks, Hattie. Just want to talk a little bit about the movie for the Kickstarter fans.
Kickstarter fans.
So let's talk a little bit about the story. So the story is about obviously a girl that is struggling to move on since the death of her boyfriend, and she's become a little bit lost in the relationship game. What drew you to the character? What an awful segue.
So I actually said to my mates, I was like, she's in her 30s and alone and single and getting slowly desperate about her ovaries and panicking and making terrible decisions. They were like, how are you going to play that, Hattie? How are you going to relate?
So we'll cast you against type. So.
And you'd called her Harriet. I was like, this is so bleak. Do you know what? I always think, like, when I read it, obviously, I luckily can't relate to the death of a boyfriend. But I think it's just the generalized, like, having to move on from someone and I know this is such well-trodden territory, but like actually how fucking soul-destroying the dating game can be. Like, especially in your 30s where like you know yourself and you know what you're about and you know what you want, and just having to be like gee up for all these dates with people that you're like, like the opening scene where she's putting up with like absolute dross and you're still like, I think is we all get that. And I think there's something human about that sort of managing the I know a lot of girls, the desperation side of things, especially when it comes into like, I should be doing this and I should be enjoying this and I should be putting myself out there, and actually the reality of like, I just want to go home. Like, this is so bad. But then obviously with her, it's coupled with actual grief because she's genuinely lost a boyfriend. But
yeah, I mean, it's a character that she attributed and tied her happiness to other people rather than having it within herself.
Yeah.
And that's what the story is about. Somebody learning to sort of separate themselves from a collective something. You know, they have to be part of something, and this is her figuring out that no, it's her all along. So your partner is going to be played by Freddie Quinn in the film, and obviously you've got such a sort of a rich chemistry with him, but it's also like a love.
Devastating that you think that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a love, maybe not sexual chemistry, but like it's the familiarity that's good. But it's actually, I mean, that's not how it's written. But how do you think it'll work with you and Freddie? Like, how do you think your sort of chemistry is going to play off in this film?
I think we're so comfortable. Like, Freddie and I, for better for worse, are very, very comfortable with each other. Christ knows why. With the oddest friendship in comedy. We should never be friends. We should never have met. But that is one of those things. I think that's often the thing that makes it hardest to get over a relationship, actually, is even when you haven't been with the right person, even when it has not been something that would be sustainable, not something that was necessarily particularly healthy love, that familiarity, you know, when you're just back with someone who you're like, oh. And I think that's why people drift back into our relationships a lot of the time, is they're out there on first dates and second dates being like, oh, really? Oh, gosh, how is marketing? Do you know what I mean? And then they find themselves across the table with someone who, again, for better for worse, they know inside out. And I think that's often the thing we confuse with a lasting love.
Better the devil you know.
Better the devil you know. And Freddie is unfortunately a devil I know. But luckily we're not dallying with a romantic relationship, nor how shall we ever. But I think that will be, maybe that is something we'll get for free, is just that sort of familiarity, that juxtaposition.
Yeah, I think so. This sort of chalk and cheese aspect. I think that's what needs to come across. And then in terms of the actual filming, which is coming up in a few weeks, what is the thing you're excited about the most? Or you can say nothing. Yeah,
I just agreed to it. Now I have to do it. Yeah.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with.
Do you know what it is? It's really funny. It's acting. I think everyone has a very different relationship to it. My experience with acting was so awful in my 20s. Like, it was so great, and then it was so bad, and then it was so quiet. And I actually think, weirdly, I found myself describing it to someone else the other day in language that actually isn't unsuitable for this, which I was like, I did a film a few months ago, and I hadn't acted for ages. And I said to my mate, I was like, do you know what the kicker about acting is it is like fucking an ex. For me, at least. And I know it feels like fucking, it's like you've got over a life without it. You know, you've got over having it. You've made a life that's rich and good and full without it. And then every now and again, someone lets you do it. And it's just, you're like, oh, fuck, I love it so much. And it is just the best. And I think I'm just really excited about getting an act again.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's a very complicated relationship I have with acting, but I love it. I love the doing of it. So I'm really excited I get to do that again.
I mean, I'm looking forward to working with you, and obviously Freddie is going to be there.
You shouldn't look forward to working with Freddie.
No,
Don't look forward to working with Freddie. He'll be there though, yeah.
He's a real problem, that guy. But yeah, no, very excited to get on set, and there's a lot of special effects that are going to be happening in this film. A lot of weird stuff, and I think that's just going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, so any Kickstarter people out there that you've not put any money in,
get involved in this.
Get involved. This video won't help at all.
Fun train.
Get all aboard the fun train.
It will be fun. I think we'll have a lot of fun.
It will, and we need you guys to do that. So yeah, get involved. Don't be a dick.